a great resource for students that I would recommend is this Make It Real Learning. It comes from the Math Mammoth website, but I'm sure you can also find that resource on the makeitreallearning.com. One thing I want to mention is what they do is they take a state like Minnesota, right? Let's talk about Minnesota. That's where I'm speaking from right now. The population of Minnesota is projected to be 5,420,636 in 2010. Their first question is, what is the digit in the thousands place? So notice they've taken something that they found interesting and they're building it into the learning. Parents, we need to do our best to give our children opportunities to see the learning come to life. Try and tie it to something they're excited about. I was speaking this evening at our homeschool get-together, which we plan to do every so often. So you have to stay tuned. If you want to be put on our email list, please send me an email, amostarfa1@gmail.com. We can send you an email when we offer these, but we'll announce it on Facebook and put it out there as well. And basically, what we're trying to do with these activities is to give homeschoolers a chance to see curriculum and explore, discuss, and look at different pieces that can help their homeschooling experience keep improving. And so one of the things I told the parents is, imagine you're teaching a 7th grader about simple interest. What does a 7th grader need to do with simple interest at 7th grade? Not much. Now, if you told them, I'll give you a 5% simple interest on your money that I give you for, mowing the lawn. Okay, now they might be interested. They might say, tell me more about this interest. Does that mean I make more money? Okay, yeah, you do, but here's how it works, right? So we should still teach the concept, but we should try our best to relate it to something that matters to them. We have to put it to a place of relevance. Otherwise, it's like, why should I care? Why should I care about a concept when it has no bearing on my life, is what the student might be saying. So we need to do our part, and this is one way we can do that. And in my lectures, you will notice that I will try to tie in the history and application of mathematics. And so as you go through any of my courses in Inspirational Mathematics 1, 2, or 3, where I go through pre-algebra, algebra 1, algebra 2, geometry, or trigonometry, you will notice that I try to tie those applications. So parents, keep using anything you can to inspire your children to understand the reason for what they're doing. So that was an example from place value. We've discussed place value, and now we're looking at things like rounding, right? So the example they give you with rounding, they talk about this rounding digit and test digit, right? So if you have 25 and someone is asking you to say the nearest tens, it's important that we know, is this number equal to or greater than 5? Because that will then determine if this becomes 30. So that's how it works. You need to know the test digit, right? You need to know the test digit, and then you apply it from there. Okay, perfect. So your book goes into more detail as far as rounding. Rounding is a very important concept. Rounding and estimating and expanded notation. Those concepts will help you to break numbers down better. If you break those numbers down better, then the rest of the work is easier to work with. Like if I say, what's 25 times 72? You should be able to estimate, have an idea of where that belongs. There have been times I've gone to a store and asked for something, they gave me the change, and the change was wrong, but the person who gave me the change didn't even think twice about the fact that what they did was wrong. They just thought, oh yeah, your change is $10. It's like, no, it can't be $10. Like, just think about the numbers in question. It doesn't make sense to be $10 or anywhere close to it, right? So sometimes I've had to tell them, you're giving me back too much change, right? And so you should be able to help people work through that as well. Okay, so your book talks about rounding and it leads into your practice problems. We're doing the odd problems. Generally, I would say about number 1 to 50 odd is the general consensus, but there might be times where you might get a little addition or modification for different types of questions. So the practice problems are talking about rounding. The practice problems are talking about which digit is in the 10 millions column of the number. They give you a big number. Which one is in the 10 millions place? So those are the kind of questions that we're seeing from 1.1. They also start by asking you to sketch the given numbers on a whole number line. If someone says to sketch the number 3, right, just put a 3 there, okay? That's all we'll need from you. Just put a 3 on a number line, we're good to go. Put a 5, right? Put a 0, put a -1. You should be comfortable placing it on that number line. Almost looks like a thermometer in a sense, right? So rounding is very important. We will work through those problems. Anytime there's word problems at the very end, that's always a good bonus if you wanted to dive in deeper. For example, there was one about a team of students separated a small bowl of M&Ms into 5 piles by color. The following line plot indicates the number of M&Ms by each color. How many red M&Ms were in the bowl, right? It's like a line graph, just kind of showing you that this number matches with the y-axis. There's like 5, or in this case, there's 3 M&Ms that are red, right? That could be a good hands-on experiment with M&Ms, and then people can eat it after. Well, we'll probably need to wash our hands first before we do the experiment, and then we can eat it after. That's a good idea. So anyways, work on 1.1. Rounding is important, and also, of course, place value is important. Ordering things on a number line, comparing numbers. Those are the big concepts. So you always want to know, what are the big concepts, right? The big concepts are things like rounding, things like estimation, right? Things like place value. So at the end of the chapter, I should be able to ask, hey, what did you learn in that chapter? And your answer shouldn't be, I don't know, I just did 1.1. No, your answer should be, I did place value and I understood it. I did rounding and I might need some practice. So I'm going to do ABC to figure that out. We need to work on proactivity, taking initiative. This stuff matters. It will help you in life. It will bless many people if you understand it, because then you can go into certain professions and help people. So it matters. And so remember the big picture for every chapter you work on. Thank you for watching this video. I will be doing more videos in our book. Thank you again. Have a blessed day.